So there's the timing cover all said and done. That's the inside. I'll flip it over and show you the other side. And this was what it looked like when I started. And this is what it looks like now on the finished side. So I've flipped the engine over, rolled it over there using my overhead gantry. And I'm going to do the oil pan gasket and put the oil pan on. So this here is the oil pan gasket. It comes in sections, not as one. So it would go down like this. And then it's got jigsaw puzzles here, jigsaw pieces that you put in. This is the back one. So they would line up like this. You put them together, push them in, and you have to match the holes. So let's get that done. Okay, so there's the gasket put together. So what I'll end up doing is making sure numbering them, and then I will shellac it to the frame. So I'll use this to adhere this to the frame of the block, and then we'll put the oil pan on. So this is the bell housing, and this would be where the starter goes, and that would be sitting on the back of the engine. So I've cleaned it completely up. You can see from the other pictures that I have that the interior I cleaned up as well. This thing was completely and utterly, absolutely filthy. And it took probably a couple hours to clean properly. So we're gonna paint this now, and I'll flip it over and I'll show you what the interior, how I got the interior done. So there's the interior. And you can see again, that's where the starter goes. So when it sits on the engine, it sits exactly like that. All right, so here's the bell housing. It's painted, it's finished up. I pulled all the stuff off it there, the masking. Still have to pull some of the plugs out that I have. But what we need to make now is a cork gasket. And the cork gasket here is the camshaft end gasket. And it goes right there. So how we make that, you'd think you just put the gasket in and cut it. Well, I got some cork here, and it's gonna fit on there just like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer the outline of this to this. Now bluing works fine. Bluing is a compound used in machining, and yeah, I don't really want to use my bluing on that. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use a paint marker, and I will paint around there. I'll press that onto here, and then when I pull it over, we'll have an imprint on it, and then we can cut that out. So I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so the light's not the best, but it's what we got to work with. Well, there's your cork, and we want to trace this. So there's probably lots of different ways that you can do this, but this is how I do it. And it gets it pretty close. Take this, press it like that, and there you go. Now you can clean this up with brake cleaner fluid and you're back to normal. All right, so I just finished cutting this out with a knife. Right. Take this. And it should fit in there. Nice. There's a little bit of a gap here, but I'm not worried about it because this is smaller than that over there. So it'll fit fine. So now what I'll do is I'll wash this up a bit with brake cleaner fluid to try and take some of the paint off. And then I will, actually what I can do is I can put it in this way, wash it up still, and put it in this way, like that. And then I can use some aviation gasket sealer, gasket material, or gasket goo we'll call it. And I adhere that to that, and then that is taken care of. Okay, so I just painted that on there, and we'll let it just spin about 30 seconds now. You give it about a minute before you take this and press it in, and then once I press that in, I'll put a weight on it, and yeah, put a weight on it, and then go for lunch. And when I come back, we can install this thing, which is kind of what I wanted to do. So also what I've done is I got the bolts in brake cleaner fluid, cleaning them up. So let's put this in here now. Okay, so and there we go. Put a weight on it. I don't care what you put. You can put a paint can on it. You can put anything you want on it, just as long as you get a weight, and then let it dry for an hour, and then she should be okay. Yep, there's my weight. So, all right, so let's install it in a bit.